now when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so now is a great time to call 8338-ROCKET. And if you need some extra money, a cash-out refinance could give you that financial boost you're looking for. Call today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Set your system's volume control for slightly above the normal listening level.
Let's go. Second level thinking is defined as looking beyond the easy, obvious conclusions.
You got to do some smart thinking.
Welcome to the second level. A Gal Media property in partnership with Jacob Media, where we go beyond the box score. Presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. Rocket Mortgage is with you every step of the way. From the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's your host, Eitan Shander.
Yeah, it only took a couple of days following the final airing of the Last Dance episodes for a couple of things to come out and reinforce something that we didn't have during Michael Jordan's career, and that's a lot of detractors, if any. And one is a name that you must be very familiar with if you paid attention to basketball in the 80s and even somewhat in the early 90s. And I had no idea this story even existed. It was buried under the love and appreciation and hammer and all for Michael Jordan, and rightfully so, because you look at what he was able to establish. Now, it is crazy. And I say that we're knowing that we're in 2020 and we're in the middle of quarantine, pandemic. But I would much rather look at the anecdotes and small things that are popping out from a story 22 years ago than sit here and feel like I'm wasting your time going back and forth about, is this going to be the day? Is this going to be the moment when Major League Baseball decides on something? And if you read the latest from, I think it's Jeff Passan, it doesn't look like we're anywhere closer. In fact, it kind of looks like we're spreading apart. So I don't really know how much more you want to stand over this and just wait and sit there and wait. All right, she's going to call. It's going to happen now. You're just waiting, and hours go by, and days go by, and all of a sudden people are looking at you. I know I've been there with a friend, physically having to pull him out of an apartment because he was waiting for the girl of his dreams that he met randomly some night. I'll spare the details as the music is playing, but that's who we are right now. We had one small little glimpse of it. Baseball's back. Look, there's a pamphlet. Look, there's money going to... And then all of a sudden, it's just drifting apart. They're wasting our time. I feel like I'm wasting your time continuing to do it. But I have an idea. It's not often I pat myself on the back ahead of a time when it comes to an idea, and it regards the PGA next.
At CDW, we get that an unsecured laptop can put your company's data at risk, making you a little paranoid.
I'm not paranoid. You're paranoid.
CDW can implement a secure mobility solution using the HP EliteBook with Intel 8th generation processors and SureView privacy to protect your screen from prying eyes.
Did you follow me?
No. The orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Find out more at cdw.com/HP security.
What was that?
Jay Farner
No more
here,
buffets.
CEO of Rocket Mortgage. Making the right financial decisions has never...
That's been a thing.
Well, in Las Vegas casinos. Is that normal? Like,
They shut down buffets a long time ago.
no, I'm saying like as far as not coming back.
No, that's bullshit. They'll bring it back.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Come on.
I'm looking at
Today
Rick
at
Bellata's
8338-ROCKET
Twitter.
or go to rocketmortgage.com to
Gaming
learn
and
more.
tourism reporter for the
conditions. Equal
Vegas
housing lender.
Review
Licensed in all
Journal.
50 states. NMLS
Also
number 3030.
dabbling in
Attention.
transportation
This is a
and
public
economic
notice from the
development.
Social Security Disability Helpline. If you're one of the millions of Americans
know.
who are disabled and unable to work, you may
think-
be eligible.
They're
They'll never get rid of those things?
The $2.99 steak and lobster buffet. It's a Vegas benchmark.
Whether you're applying for the first time or
That's
you've
pathetic,
already been
man.
denied,
Those
we can
buffets.
help. We'll evaluate your situation
like
and deal
the
with
only
Social
give
Security
back they
on
have
your
in that
behalf.
building.
Best of all, there's no fee until
You
you
know?
receive your benefits.
Exactly. So they would never get rid of that.
In your case, there are many reasons and conditions that may make
I
you
don't know, maybe
eligible
they
for
just-
disability benefits.
What would you
Many
replace
of
it
them
as?
you may not be
Or
aware
what
of.
would you replace
So
it with?
if you're disabled,
You can't.
Well, not from a food standpoint.
You're free,
The
no obligation
food stuff would have to
consultation.
either be socially distanced when you sit down at a table where they bring you stuff, or it's all takeout.
775395. That's
But
800-477-50.
No,
they'd
I
have
can
to
see
loosen
them-
up the slots if they're going to get rid of the buffet, because the buffet is an easy way to just fool people
Yep,
and that
drinking
they're
from
giving
home is
something
at an
back
all-
to you.
Well, that's the thing too. I mean, everyone's focused on what they've done to the tables. What can they do to the slots? I mean, you've been to a casino, right? They jam as many of those money-making machines as they possibly can in there.
Well, I think
You
what they're
start
going to have,
separating them,
yeah.
you're going to run out of space.
that's probably what they're going to have to do. So
It's the best thing to have.
they might actually tighten them up a little bit
Cheers. Just take
and
2 to 4
require
capsules
people
after your
to
last
sit
drink or before bed.
one
If you don't
slot
feel at least
apart from each other,
50%
right?
better the next day, you'll get your money
Which,
back. No
if they're going to
questions asked.
lose somebody sitting
order
at that
Cheers,
machine,
simply
then it
visit
stands to reason that they would tighten up the other slots that people are playing.
10 at checkout. You'll get $10.
You're probably not going to win much if you normally, you identify that loose slot that's always kind of pan out.
Promo code radio.
There was one in Atlantic
See,
City like
cheers to
that.
brighter mornings.
I'm telling you, I
Deliverable, thank you.
had no idea until I sat next to. All right.
Scratching beneath the surface. It's the second level, presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. From the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eitan Shander.
All right, I'm just going to let you know ahead of time. Unless Ron steps in and makes some sort of plea or argument that we should be talking more about Major League Baseball's back and forth, that doesn't seem to end at all. And Joel Sherman, I don't know why I said Jeff Passan. It's Joel Sherman who had the latest. A potential smoking gun. All right, so I'll read you the updates. Updating with MLB countering the union statement. The tense grows tender is what he tweeted. A potential smoking gun MLB internal email that the union knew a second negotiation on player pay in 2020 was going to be necessary. More than 130 players talked for more than 3 hours Monday night in a union call designed to mainly go over MLB's health/safety proposal. So there is nothing as we get a war waged. In fact, I'm reading the New York Post headline, MLB union wage war after potential smoking gun email emerges. Doesn't look like we're any closer to Major League Baseball. And I hate to break it to a lot of people because I'm sure there are still people out there where it's their first love. That's fine. But the sport doesn't require this much attention when there's a stalemate like this. NFL, without a doubt. You could maybe make an argument because you'd have top big name players like LeBron James isn't going to speak through the media. He'll just come out and talk his own way. So from an NBA standpoint, stars will drive it, the conversation. It's not like Mike Trout is holding court, and the only time we hear from Bryce Harper is when he's playing Fortnite. So Major League Baseball, I just don't think warrants this much attention at this point. When it comes back, hey, all the attention and spotlight and power to the sport. In fact, you can argue that they're really walking this thin line right here. Because if you come back, man, I made this analogy the other night. Ron, do you remember the game, the Oregon Trail?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember at the start of the game, you had to decide when to leave, right? When to leave. I think it was Independence Hall, wherever the heck you left from, East Coast.
No, you always started off from a place in Missouri.
Missouri, is that where you started off from?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
And
Independence City or something like that.
Independence,
Missouri.
And you had to choose what time of the year to leave. And they told you, they warned you,
Right.
if you leave too early, you're screwed. If you leave too late, you're screwed. You have to leave when it's just right. So Major League Baseball is doing this now, where if they come back too early, two things could happen. One, safety issues, and all of a sudden their protocols are rushed, and it's obvious somebody gets sick. That's worst case scenario. From the player standpoint, they just say, yeah, let's get back. There may not be fans at all in the stands. There may not be a way for them to recoup some money that they were promised they'd at least have the ability to. If they come back too late, and too late doesn't necessarily mean November or September, but if they come back too late in the calendar year, and then all of a sudden the NBA is back with the playoffs, and here comes the Stanley Cup 2014 round robin playoff, Major League Baseball is back to the back burner. There is that small, fine moment where you can choose. I think you can leave in the game at like June is like the best time to leave. That's probably going to be the best time to come back. June and maybe like the start of July. You push that sucker back any further, next thing you know, you're going to be stuck in the winter looking around, trying to get out of the mud, trying to get your wagon out of the mud while the NBA and NHL are long gone on their way to Oregon. Huge issue that MLB is trying to navigate through with money and with health. And here I am saying they don't warrant time in 4 minutes already on it. All right, here's the big thing that's happening this weekend. No more Last Dance. No more looking back at the Jordan legacy and the impact that he's had even up till today, through today. The PGA has the Match 2020. Now, there are two big things that come from this. The real actual match and this idea that I had that I don't even think I'll need to ask you to bear with me or suspend too much of reality. I think this could actually happen, and I think it would be a really funny thing / entertaining / not crushing and like ruining the game of golf. But it would really be an idea, an innovative idea. And I'm not saying I'm innovative. I'm just saying like how it would be presented and everything that follows the production elements of it. And if it's already been out now for an hour on phillyvoice.com, my latest column. So if you've read it, no spoiler alerts on Twitch, twitch.tv/Shander Show, at Shander Show, at Ron Culver, 2 N's on Twitter for both of us. As far as reality is concerned, let's just look at what's going on from a betting standpoint. You can get it now, depending on where you are and what book. Here in PA, I can get these guys, Woods and Manning, at 200, minus 200. No value there. 2-1 favorite, zero value. Now, on the flip side, it's too high at plus 175 for me to trust that Phil Mickelson can beat Tiger Woods head-to-head. Because that's essentially what this will be. The first 9 holes, in case you have no idea what's going on and you just thought that these 4 guys are going to go out there, shoot the you-know-what, and walk away with some cool anecdotes on the course. That's not the case. It's 18 holes. The front 9 is essentially, not even essentially, the front 9 is Tiger versus Phil. They've made it a 4-ball play. So the 4 golfers play their own ball, and the lower of the partners score on each hole counts. So there's no way that Tom Brady is going to outstroke Phil Mickelson on any hole in this course. Same situation with Peyton Manning and Tiger Woods. With that said, we know it's going to be Tiger versus Phil for the first 9. Back 9, now it becomes an alternate shot play. Partners share 1 golf ball per hole. Good luck. And alternate taking shots. Now, these guys in Brady and Manning are really good golfers, good enough to where if they're missing shots, it's close. Putts, 40-foot putts that Phil and Tiger can put 2 to 3 feet from the cup and tap in, that's going to be a 3-putt. Or getting the difference between getting to 3 feet and tapping in a par putt or even a birdie putt versus landing a ball 40 feet away from the cup on the green. That's going to be the difference consistently, and that adds up. Of course, strokes add up. So these guys aren't just going to destroy the ball and shaking their head thinking, what did we get ourselves into? It's not going to be bad golf. We'll get to that, I promise. But as far as the betting element of it, you're really betting 2 different tournaments, 2 different events. You're betting the front 9 and the back 9. And the front 9, the real value that you can get, and it's not going to be awesome. Don't think that this is going to be some huge gift here, but you can drop it to about minus 140, give or take, again, the book and where you are. But you could get Woods and Manning at minus 140, 150 as the favorite to lead after 9. Now you're talking about some value. Tiger is simply a better golfer right now, healthy, clearly, than Phil Mickelson. Doesn't mean Phil is fallen off. It just means that we've seen Tiger return to some sense of normalcy. Man, I can't wait to bury that phrase. But we have seen Tiger get back and win a major, for goodness sakes. Phil's missed some cuts. It's been up and down. There's a reason why minus 200 and plus 175 represent the favorite in Tiger and the underdog in Phil, respectively. So if you can drop it, knowing, of course, that Manning and Brady have nothing to do with the front 9. So there is decent value where you can kind of cheat and cut the whole match in half and know that Woods, at the very least, is going to give you the best position to be in the lead after 9. And anything Peyton Manning does in the first 9 holes isn't going to hurt Woods, nor is Tom Brady going to help Phil in that regard. The second bet, now this is a lot of value, and I'm shocked, truly shocked, that it's this high. In fact, it's the biggest long shot you can find. William Hill had it at plus 475. Yes. One team wins 3 holes in a row. Forget the front 9. It's not going to happen in the front 9. They'll draw some holes. It'll push. It's not going to be Tiger destroying Phil 3 in a row. I just don't think it will get to that point. However, back 9, alternate shots, now you're into something. Because, as we said, it's not so much a bad tee shot. It's not so much something that's lost. It's not OB for Manning and Brady, but it's just one bad shot. And it's a bad shot that these guys, these pros, are just not used to hitting. And it's not going to throw, it's not, Tiger can hit and Phil can hit out of the third cut of the rough, out of a jungle where you and I can struggle on the fairway. I get that. But it's enough to throw routine off when you're playing your own consistent game for 9 holes, and then all of a sudden, and again, we're talking about subtle, yet at times discernible differences where it might just be the difference of, let's just look at it real quick. All right. This is the example. Tiger and Manning come out. They win a hole. They win hole 9 or they win hole 10. Hole 9's pushed. All right. So the bet is on, but they're on hole 10. Tiger and Manning, they come out and they flat out win the hole. Difference between a birdie and a par there. Phil just barely misses the birdie putt. They tap in for par. That's normal. That's a very realistic, believable scenario. You move on to the next hole. Now, all of a sudden, Tom Brady has a bad shot. Nothing wrong. Peyton Manning is just staying alive, head above water. Keep your head down, hit the ball straight. That's it. Tiger will take care of the rest. Tom Brady doesn't. Tom Brady hits the ball pretty bad. Meanwhile, Peyton Manning has given, if it's a putt or if it's an approach shot, Peyton Manning has given Tiger an easy path to the cup. And Phil Mickelson now has to play out of that. It would be like a mishit for Phil trying to hit out of the bunker. Goodness, that's all you need in the third hole. Now, all of a sudden, Brady, who is not a consistent golfer like Phil Mickelson, gets back up on the tee. It's his tee shot. Bad bounce in the bunker. Again, all Peyton Manning needs to do for 3 straight holes is not screw up. That's it. I'm more confident that he can do that than Tom Brady can sit there and just not make a couple of bad shots in a row. And you know what? I'll be fair. We can flip it. Because the formula here works. It's not so much Phil and Tiger. It's applying Brady and Manning. All right, now I have an idea. I'll run it by you coming up next. At Shander Show, twitch.tv/Shander Show. Again, it's in the back end of the column that's up today on phillyvoice.com regarding an Eagles topic, but the main idea centers around a change. I think they can, in the future, do something to alter the match and make it more entertaining. It's Eitan Shander at Shander Show, second level. Wake up call.
When my son goes down to Gainesville to go to the University of Florida, my advice to him will be, do not be Florida man.
Tom Brady was only there for a week.
Right.
And he's done two things now where he's Florida man.
It's something that just comes over people and
Is
they're
it
like,
the water?
wow.
Is it the sunshine? My question to you, Father, is if he starts to become that, do you pull him out?
That's a good question. That's where I might have to sit with my wife and go, look, he's putting toothpicks in light sockets. He's walking around with an open umbrella during a lightning storm. We have to sit down and reassess his post-high school education.
He's walking into people's houses thinking it was his professor.
Right. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Wow. We can't have this.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned.
Throwing footballs in a park that's closed.
It's closed. Wrestling alligators. I don't want you doing that. Or petting alligators. Whatever. Don't do any of these Florida man things. I'm just afraid it's in the water.
Wake Up Call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekday mornings.
If business, pleasure, or sports fandom takes you to Houston, Dallas, Austin, Fort Worth, or San Antonio, check out CultureMap.com to get the scoop on the local favorites. From the best restaurants, bars, pubs, and clubs to the biggest sights and sounds each city has to offer, Culture Map has it all. Just head over to CultureMap.com.
Wow,
the expert team personally reviews and visits each spot to make sure you get the best experience. And if you're coming back, sign up for free Culture Map updates at CultureMap.com.
No. But why?
Pushing the Odds with Matt Perrault.
Actually,
Bill Theismann here on Pushing the Odds. How has
we might
quarantine
need
life
to
been for
tip
you?
our
Probably
hat
the most important
to
word that we
Florida
can
and
all
apologize
consider
to
is
Georgia.
patience with everybody. I know everybody's sort of going stir crazy. I mean, let's face
That's
it.
pretty shocking. So
Again, you're wrong, but why?
We move quite rapidly, but now we're forced to
with
sort
the
of,
combination of
reevaluate
increased
the important
testing
things in life.
and
I think it's good in that
reopening,
regard. Matt, I've said this for a
Florida
long
has seen
time.
no
If you have your health,
changes
you have wealth.
in
Wealth has nothing to do with what
cases,
your
and
bank account looks
Georgia
like.
has
If
seen
you
a
have your
decrease
health,
in
then you are a very wealthy person. Now it's important that we understand.
Meanwhile, North Carolina and
Because they're
Arizona
killing
are shooting through the roof.
so that
Because they're killing them off.
healthy.
Could
And
be.
the more we can practice that, every day that we can practice
Or
that,
all the
every
old
day we
people
can
died
buy
and
a
everybody
day for
else
the
is just
scientists to be able to come up with a-
asymptomatic.
Wasn't there a Florida woman who just quit or was fired because she wouldn't manipulate the numbers?
Weekday afternoons from 1 to 4 Eastern on SB Nation
I think
Radio.
that a
Game
couple of
time
weeks
decisions.
ago, there was some sort of like federal. Remember, the Times came out with an article questioning Cuomo. And then next thing you know, it was like there was this. I don't know if the CDC stepped in across the country now, but I think there's some federal. Not that you would trust that anymore. but I think
Game
something
time
federal
decisions
has
with
taken
Gabe
over now,
Morency and Cam Stewart. Weekdays at 6 p.m.
which means
Eastern.
that it's probably going to take even longer to get any type of result. So they can say nothing's happening until the data comes in. Then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, a lot happened.
You're listening to The Second Level, presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. From the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, with way more than the scores. Here's Eitan Shander.
I'm going to work my betting theories with Will Gray from the Golf Channel, golfchannel.com, coming up in 12 minutes. But I'm going to start with my ridiculous theory. And I don't necessarily think it's truly ridiculous if you understand and appreciate the entertainment value. But let me start here. All right, Ron Culver. We are going to, in this hypothetical, because I think we can truly enhance the entertainment value of Tiger and Phil Mickelson playing golf together. That did not work from an entertainment, trash talking, etc. value the first time around. Now they throw in two robots in Brady and Manning. So I can't really expect this to be more than just a manufactured yuck session.
Robot?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Tom Brady is...
Yeah, but Manning's not. Manning will be entertaining.
The problem with Manning is that he's not an alpha in the sense of entertaining. He's somebody, like, he'll play off a script. You put him in front of Saturday Night Live, or you put him in commercials, and you have him play off of people. He's not that lead personality. So that's where I fear he might just get lost in the robotics of it. Robotics, technically, if I want to coin. All right, so here's what we'll do. Take out Brady, take out Manning. Replace them with two golfers
who routinely hit no higher than, all right, the max. There's a min max, no lower than 105, no higher than 110. Now you can go out and do an American Idol tour and go to different golf courses around the country. Everybody has their handicaps up digitally online during the season, so you can see and identify who you can look. You don't even need to let them golf in front of you like American Idol lets them sing. You can just look at handicaps and go from there. And you've identified two average Joes, if you will. John 110 and Joe 110. John 110's with Tiger, Joe 110's with Phil. Now, same format, same exact format, everything remains the same. It's 9 holes where it's really just Tiger versus Phil, and then the back 9 is alternate shot. Now you have something. Now it's not
boring.
Boring? Are you kidding me?
Yes, because where's the entertainment value?
The entertainment value.
All of a sudden, it's just becoming about golf. Who cares?
It's no about golf. Wait a second. It's never about golf. It's about reaction, and it's about conversation, and it's about frustration.
And after the first 3 holes, that'll once you get to hole 3, it won't be new anymore. It'll be 15 more of the same reaction.
No, here's the thing. The first 9 holes, you don't need them. That's why these forced yuck sessions that are going to happen Sunday morning are going to be as bad as any of the banter you get on like the D team on a broadcast crew. So the switch is at this back 9. Now, all of a sudden, because you've got cameras on all 4, everybody's mic'd up. Now in the alternate shot, Tiger and Phil are going to be going head to head. You don't even need to focus. You don't even need to have a camera on these other guys. Don't even worry about their shots until you get to the back 9. And then the back 9, that's where you start to see frustration. Can you imagine you're on the 9th tee or 10th tee, pardon me. Tiger Woods has built a 2-stroke lead, and now it's his partner's turn, John 110's turn to tee off. I don't want to see the tee shot. I can hear how bad the tee shot is. I want to see Tiger's face. I want to hear Tiger say something under his breath. I want to hear Phil Mickelson explode on the 15th because his partner missed a 3-foot putt that would have won the hole. How the hell do you miss? That's what I want to see.
Why are you wanting something negative?
Because this is – did you not see the first match? These guys don't know how to talk trash. They don't know how to – they don't know how to do anything else but say, nice shot, Phil. Nice shot, Tiger.
Well, I mean, that's all it was when you saw Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy, Ricky Fowler, and Matthew Wolff. I mean,
they're all buddies.
What do you expect out of golf guys? You're expecting like a sitcom to happen. It's not going to.
Well, I can create one. This is the problem is all they're doing is reinforcing the first match. There's not going to be any trash talk here. Tom Brady isn't going to talk any. It's just going to be the same.
Why don't we add,
great shot.
Hey, why don't we add that one gauntlet from American Gladiators where they were shooting tennis balls at people?
Where you have to what? Make a putt?
Make a putt. Drive.
Well, now you're getting into like Caddyshack 2, where you have to get to the.
But
if you take bad golfers and you do an alternate shot, now all of a sudden Tiger Woods is going to have to hit balls he's never hit in a tournament. Same thing with Phil Mickelson.
I know, but see, what I don't want to have happen is I don't want to see Tiger Woods make some poor schlup cry.
No,
because that's what.
Why? That's what I look. This is reality television. Have you not seen my fiance's watching these shows on Bravo? People are crying every 5 seconds. Guys and girls, everybody's breaking down. That's what reality TV is now.
I don't watch that. That's
what America watches.
No, it's not what America watches.
Otherwise, these shows wouldn't be
on. Watches.
Okay, how are these shows on prominent networks? Non-stop.
Bravo's not prominent.
No, it's not just Bravo. These reality shows have taken over like 3 different networks to where you can see them running non-stop. I'm telling you, there is a large portion of America that would like to see. This is where you and I differ. There is a large portion of America that would like to see Tiger Woods make a man who hits normally 110 break down because he can't play the game. And could you imagine the stress? Like, put $1 million on it and have Tiger Woods hit his second shot 90 yards from the tee box. Or you don't think that watching Phil Mickelson explode? When's the last time Phil Mickelson got mad? Really, like truly mad.
I don't know. Has he ever?
Yes. So that's what this is. It's like Fear Factor. It's like a Joe Rogan thing.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's just
we don't
golf.
need them to get mad. Instead of that, why don't you bring out someone like a Bill Murray?
Where it's just telling jokes the whole time?
Or just, the way he talked, recreating that threesome in Space Jam.
Well, that would be better than what they're doing this weekend. I'll give you that. I think you're going to be really bored with the content. You're going to watch golf.
I'm not going to watch the whole thing either.
Well, now that I have money on it, I kind of have to.
I'm going to watch some of it. You don't have to.
Well, I know because now I can hedge. If I'm losing, I can live bet.
In-game betting.
Yes, I'm telling you, I made a killing in the XFL that way.
That's the first sign of a problem.
No,
is when you're betting on Tiger and Phil and Brady and Manning.
Well, what about my bets on South Korean baseball and Mexican soccer?
No. There's no problems there.
None.
South Korean baseball, because I know you follow the league, so you're fine.
Well,
and you can see
give me
trends.
too much credit. Trends of the XFL. It's the only thing I was able to pull up. Will Gray's going to join us coming up next from the Golf Channel. Should I bring up my idea at the end of the interview, or do you think he'll ban coming back on the show? You think
Bring it up?
You think so? Bring it up.
Who cares?
Hi.
That would be kind of fun to see Tiger always having to hit from, 50 yards east.
Right?
I mean, if Tiger and I went golfing together and we were doing alternating shots, what do I shoot?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
It can't be worse than I shot a 110 on Saturday.
Dude, I'm terrible. Like the last time I went golfing, which was in 2015, right? I think I averaged at least 6 shots every hole.
So where are you
for? In addition, we may be able to help you refinance
Where are
with
you
little
like
or
where
no
do you
out-of-pocket costs.
pick
At
up
Rocket
shots?
Mortgage,
I guess strokes
we're
the
committed
most.
to every client.
Yes, Jeff.
every
Thank you for that
exceptions,
Caddyshack
no
line.
excuses.
I'm sorry,
giving
Ron.
you the best mortgage experience.
Ron, where
Call us
do you
today
like
at
normally miss
833-8
shots?
Rocket or go to Rocket Mortgage.
Couldn't tell you.
You just every hole like off
Yeah.
the tee or
No, I mean,
fairway?
it usually takes me a while to putt. If there's any water on the hole, I guarantee to find it. Doesn't matter if it's a little tiny creek, I will find the water. No big deal. Now I usually average about 6-7 shots a hole.
Can't wait to use my Spanish skills and
So yeah, I'm always a triple digit. My goal every single time to go is to get to not be in triple digits.
BEL.com. At CDW, we get that in business, the only
and I have not achieved that goal yet.
I agree,
man.
Do I?
Do you realize how
I do.
tough that is?
Well, an APC
Break,
micro
I
data
feel like
center
breaking
solution.
100 is the hardest thing to
Experts
do.
at
Right?
CDW
It's terrible.
No, but I mean, I'm there with
and support your business needs. So
Like I
you're ready
break
for
110.
I'm somewhat maybe reasonably confident. That sounds great.
IT orchestra.
And I think my biggest problem is that I overcompensate my strength.
like using a
I
club
will.
like an 8 when you should have used a pitching wedge.
That or when I'm driving off the tee, instead of letting the club do some of the work, I'm trying to muscle it out there.
Oh yeah, well, isn't that normal though?
washable and double layer for added protection.
Guys like us, yeah.
Your loved one's face mask, please go to
Like, I don't know how to hit a ball
excellifestyle.com.
without using
That's
my arms.
ACCEL lifestyle.com. Once we receive your order, we will ship your masks out immediately. Thank you and stay safe.
Introducing AutomotiveMap.com, a brand new website for anyone interested in what's happening in the world of automobiles. From reviews on the latest vehicles to vintage rides to tips on keeping your family safe on the road, AutomotiveMap.com has something for you. If you love cars, trucks, and SUVs, and the amazing technology hitting your favorite showroom, check out the brand new AutomotiveMap.com.
We got Will.
Dealing with the
All right, he's ready.
The
Awesome.
second
Thanks.
level, presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. From the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, here's Eitan Shander.
Big event, especially from the return of live sports, and it doesn't have to be a full-on tournament. Just give us a day of watching Tiger and Phil. You want to throw in a couple of Hall of Fame quarterbacks, we're more than okay with that. Oh, by the way, we get to bet on it. Sign us all up for it. Will Gray is kind enough to spend a couple of minutes with us here on the second level on the Progressive Guest Line. You can follow Will on Twitter at Will Gray GC. Covers all things golf for the Golf Channel. Will, Eitan Shander, SB Nation Radio. Appreciate the time this morning.
Yeah, it's good to be with you. Good to have something to talk about.
I love it, right? How thrilled are you just to have the sport back in general? I know last weekend was a great appetizer of what's to come.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we're inching closer. It seems like golf is going to be one of those first sports back in some semblance of competition. It was great to see, the skins match for charity last week. We've got Tiger and Phil this week, and then 3 weeks from tomorrow, the PGA Tour is scheduled to resume official competition at Colonial in Fort Worth. So it's been a long and strange spring for sure for everyone, let alone people involved with golf. But it does seem like we're inching closer toward a return to competition, which I know a lot of people are excited about.
From a preparation standpoint, even if it's for what we saw last weekend, Tiger, Phil this weekend, and as you mentioned, the actual tour resuming in less than a month, this is one of the few sports where it's not like your gym was shut down. It's not like you can't work with a trainer in regards of, lifts. Not that people don't lift and exercise, but I'm saying you can get out and putt. A lot of the golf courses, even public courses around the country, weren't necessarily closed or closed for that long. So do you anticipate less of a lag when it looks like the tour actually returns from an execution standpoint, Will?
Yeah, I think we can probably assume that. It's going to go player by player. I know Dustin Johnson played last week in the skins game, and he was up front. He said, I basically took 6 or 7 weeks off. I haven't touched the club until a few days prior. He showed a little bit of rust, which was kind of understandable. So some guys took that. They said, listen, I don't usually get a break like this. I'm going to take some time to unplug and restart. And other guys have been able to continue to practice and chip and play. As you said, I know I spoke to Xander Schauffele a few weeks ago, and he mentioned basically most tour players feel like they need 2-week window of really grinding on practice, preparation in order to get ready for a tour level competition again. So I think you're getting pretty close to that window for guys if they're going to play Colonial in 3 weeks. That this is about the time when they're really going to start to batten down the hatches and focus consistently and strongly on preparation. And so by the time you get to those events in mid to late June, I do think that you're going to be seeing the same PGA Tour level of competition that you'd expect.
And everybody's carrying their own bag still, right? 3 or 4 weeks from now. So we still have that comedy.
I think that was a one-off for the skins match. I'm not sure what they're planning for this week's match, but I do know that when we're playing for real, we're playing for keeps, you're going to have caddies. The tour is still working out how to socially distance with caddies, but you're going to have that normal situation.
Are you surprised heading into this weekend? And I know that it's technically split with the front 9 effectively leaving Brady and Manning's balls meaningless, whereas the back 9, you start the alternate shot. But are you surprised that, looking at it from a betting standpoint, Tiger and Peyton were currently now, actually, they've bumped up a little bit. They're minus 200. They're a pretty strong favorite over Phil and Brady that are sitting at plus 175.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure that I'd be willing to put either of those teams as a strong favorite one way or the other, given the format, given the fact that you're dealing with, competition with, these guys are NFL quarterbacks and they're avid golfers, but they're not regular PGA Tour players. Right. And listen, I've been out at the Memorial a couple times. I've seen Peyton Manning play in the Prime with Tiger. It did not blow me back with awe-inspiring confidence watching him swing a golf club. So I wouldn't be surprised if there were a few loose shots from both him and Brady. I think last time I checked, I think that Peyton's got a little edge on the handicap. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be fun to watch. It's a different format than what we saw with the skins game last weekend at Seminole. And I think that, as you said, right now, listen, we'll take breadcrumbs. Any sort of live sports activity with guys of this caliber, with this much star power and name recognition, I think it's an exciting opportunity for sports fans, let alone golf fans.
Well, I'll be 100% honest with you. If they don't say a word for the entire match, I'm still going to be glued to my couch watching, live betting, and tweeting about it because it's golf, which we love. It's what more can you ask? And Tiger and Phil playing. So, yes, there could be added entertainment elements, but we just want something tangible back. And you mentioned the difference playing with guys, especially in the back nine, when you do the alternate shots. So for people that may not recognize the difference, even if it's a little more subtle than people think, what's the difference in playing with a guy like Manning and Brady, who are I think they're somewhere in the 80s, right, as far as handicaps are concerned? What's the difference versus the first front nine, where you don't have to worry at all about your ball, like hitting different shots and coming out of different areas?
Yeah, so all the pressure is going to be focused on these guys in the back nine. I mean, they're single-digit handicaps, which basically translates to, high 70s, low 80s for the most part on an average round. So they're going to. That's the thing with players of that caliber. You're going to have some good holes and you're going to have some bad holes. So on the front nine, you have that safety net where you've got a partner and you're able to pick up your ball if you hook one in the trees or hit an approach in the water or things like that. But on alternate shot, now it's modified alternate shot in terms of everyone's going to tee off and then you choose a tee shot and go alternate from there. But there's going to be situations where these guys, Peyton and Tom Brady, are going to be facing pressure where they're going to be the only ones hitting an approach shot, or they're the only one getting a shot at a 5-foot par putt, or so on and so forth. So certainly on the front nine, as you ease into things, you have that safety net. You know that you can rely on a pretty talented partner to kind of carry the weight, and that's the same format you might have in a two-man match. But now, once you get to the alternate shot, man, that pressure's all on you for at least a few of them.
Yeah, and what's the worst? You're prone every now and again, right? I guess everybody that's not on the tour is prone every now and again. You might hit something in the woods, but is the type of bad shot, mishit, that a Brady or Manning will hit in the back nine, is that worse than the ability of Phil and or Tiger to hit out of it?
I think that there's a likelihood that that's accurate. One of the big calling cards of top level tour players is not that they don't miss, it's that they know where to miss. And that's one of the big differences between amateurs and pros, is that you might look at a hole and Tiger or Phil will say, well, there's no way I'm going to challenge that pin. There's no way I'm going to miss left with the hole on the left side. And if me or Tom or Peyton, we might hit a hook and you end up there and you're short-sided and you're facing a chip that Tiger or Phil would never leave themselves with. And so there definitely could be those sort of situations where, Peyton and Tom have the shot in the middle of the fairway and they simply miss it in the wrong spot, to where even with the best, chip shot or rescue recovery from Tiger or Phil, you might still be facing, a 10, 15, 20-foot par putt, and then they don't get to hit it. Then it's up to the quarterback to hit the putt. So, yeah, there's definitely the possibility of one bad shot going awry, leading to a bigger mess down the road.
Will Gray joining us at Will Gray GC on Twitter, Golf Channel at Golf Channel as well on the Progressive Guest Line. So two scenarios from a betting standpoint that I'm curious how you see play out. We know that the first nine is essentially Tiger versus Phil. So overall, Tiger and Peyton are heavy favorites, but it drops significantly to where you can get Tiger and Manning as a minus 140 favorite to lead after nine. I would think that if it's just Tiger versus Phil, Tiger should lead at the very least, even if it's only a hole or two after nine.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, Tiger versus Phil straight up, you would think Tiger would have a little bit of an edge. But again, we haven't seen him play since Riviera. A lot of these guys have had 2 or 3 months off. Tiger hasn't played in almost 4 months.
That's a good point.
And you add the fact that, Phil does have bragging rights. He did beat him the last time they were head-to-head. But it sounds like there could be some other quirks. I saw reports yesterday that everyone might play a hole on the front nine with one club. You could have basically a one-club challenge for a hole, which that's going to throw another monkey wrench into it. And every variable that you add in terms of formats and things that are going to add to the entertainment value of the product kind of detract from your willingness to really bet a big favorite in these scenarios. You almost feel like if you just take the dog straight across, eventually you're going to cash a few tickets, because it is hard to consider laying minus 180 or laying minus 200 in these sort of events where there are so many unknowns in terms of how guys are playing, how much they've been playing, what the format is going to call for, and things like that.
What would be the one club that Tiger and Phil would use, or maybe it's a different club for each?
Yeah, it's probably going to be a different club for each. I think most tour pros, they'll lean on a mid-iron. So you think 5, 6, 7 iron, something like that. It would depend on how long the hole is. If it's a par 4, things like that. But for the most part, I think a 6-iron is probably a pretty good guess in terms of something that will give them some distance off the tee, but that they'll still be able to, get creative with and hit some chips and pitches around the green if they have to.
Boy, it's sticking a 90-yard shot with a 6-iron. That's just wrong. I mean, that's just proving that we'll never be able to play that game at that level.
Absolutely.
That's insulting to us, Will.
They're tour pros for a reason.
Absolutely. All right, this is the other one. This is the biggest long shot. We looked at a couple of different books and boards. This is the biggest long shot we can find. William Hill had it. Yes is plus 475. And I'm actually shocked that it's such a high underdog, only because I'm going to go back to the point you made about Manning and Brady and the difference of knowing where to miss versus just missing. But the prop is one team wins 3 holes in a row. I would think it would be very difficult in the front 9 for Tiger or Phil to win 3 straight. But in the back 9, if one of these teams wins 1 hole just because they're the better golfers that hole, and nothing wrong, just the better hole. Now the next hole, let's say Brady messes up. And now Phil has to hit out of that. And then the 3rd hole in a row, we're back to Brady not having that muscle memory and skill set of a tour pro. And all it takes is 1 more miss hit. So all I need is really 2 of 3 holes for Brady or Manning to miss hit. And then all of a sudden, if the other guy plays normal, not even great, but normal, that prop can hit.
Yeah, I definitely like your thinking. You've done a big deep dive into this. I will say
I wanted to do my homework. I don't want to embarrass myself, Will.
Listen, this is a prop that I see every year with the Super Bowl, and I always think to myself, no way that, one team is going to score 3 straight times, and inevitably someone scores 3 straight times. You're like, oh, wow, there you go. So, yes, there is definitely the possibility of someone going on a run, whether on the front 9, maybe you win 8, 9, and then it carries over when the format changes to 10. Plus 475, that's a tasty price for something like that, where, as you said, once you get into alternate shot, if either of the quarterbacks are kind of off their game, that really could open the door to a 3-hole run, because, even if there's a par 3 involved somewhere, these guys are going to have to hit a shot that's meaningful, the quarterback, on every hole in the back 9. That's part of the appeal of alternate shot. You can't just lean on your pro partner. So, yeah, I think there's a possibility. I like what you're thinking.
All right, last one for you. It's a total hypothetical, and it's playing off of an entertainment value and putting guys like Woods and Mickelson, who are already in absurd pressure cookers, even more pressure on top of them. You play the front 9, Tiger versus Phil. So you take Brady and Manning out entirely, all right? Well, you take the 2 stars and you make them go head-to-head in the front 9. And as they make the turn, they're both partnered with guys who have been in the range, so they've been able to hit a little bit, but both guys hit no lower than 105, no higher than 110. And now you go alternate shot with Phil and Tiger and guys like me who tee off 180, 190 into the woods.
I think that would be like a typical pro-am scenario for Tiger and Phil. They would feel like they're playing Wednesday at Muirfield Village or something like that. It's something that they're used to dealing with. I don't know that the 4-man format would especially support that too much. It's there'd be a lot of hacking, a lot of wood shots, a lot of, I'm hitting 3 off the tee, all that stuff. So it might not be best for the TV product, but it certainly would get some creativity points from an entertainment perspective.
Well, think about it. You guys will have cameras on everybody as well. So I don't even need to see the tee shot for the partner. I just want you, the Golf Channel, to focus on Tiger Woods' face as he watches that ball trail hard right into the woods.
That's it. Just the drop of the head of the exasperated sigh. Oh, no, here we go again. Yeah, that could be good.
Thanks, Will. I really appreciate it today. Thank you, sir.
All right, good talking to you, Tom.
You got it. Will Gray at Will Gray GC. We'll wrap the hour next year on the second level.
Wake up call. It's really weird how gambling is now embraced.
I never had a chance to speak with him before.
Bothered by it.
No, I have a lot of golf writers that Travis Rogers always requested. He was always very choosy, because I didn't really know golf writers when I started working with him.
When were you working with him? Was he doing mornings?
2015 to 2017. No, about 2017.
What was the time slot?
Reporter, former
11 to 1.
Oh, okay. Daytime.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was 11-1 Central, 12-2 Eastern.
And he was always asking for, specific golf people?
No, I never knew. When I first came here, I never really bothered with golf. Except for the odd PR hit that was presented to us.
Sure.
But he liked talking golf.
Ah.
He's a golfer. Tony's the same way. And ever since then, I've built up a repertoire of golfers. An odd day, it's like, oh, nothing's going on in sports. Well, we'll just grab a golfer. And we did that a lot during the summertime.
Got it. Okay.
But he had a whole list of golfers that he liked talking to. That he said these guys are really, really good on there. They actually conversate with you. They don't just give you facts and figures. And so, I have a whole list of golfers that you would sit back and you can have long ass conversations with.
Oh, that's great.
Coast to
we can definitely do
coast
that.
and Morency game time decisions.
It makes sense.
Put it on from 4 to 7
the game moves
East,
so
and
slow.
then everybody else in our path. What we're
And
doing is we're
It's
destroying.
not stat heavy.
Absolute.
It's not like baseball
And it's
or
a
even
lot of
the
fun.
NFL. You can get analytical, but it's not so stat heavy.
Wake up call.
A lot of it is just results.
We know Major League Baseball is trying
you
to get
kinda
that
have
back,
to
but
talk. I would imagine
eventually
that if you're
it
on the
will,
air.
and eventually minor league baseball will be back.
The
And if
PGA guys at Sirius
in,
are, I don't
in
know.
need of a
I don't
change
know
of
if they're
identity,
still there or
would you
not.
go
When I
with
was there, they were
Murder
really good.
Hornets?
And I
think
was
it's a
on Mad Dog.
fantastic
And
idea.
anytime we
Kind
have
of like
anybody
with a hat,
golf
with
related,
a,
we bring on
a
someone
Murder
from
Hornet hat
PGA
on it,
Tour
maybe with
Network.
a
that's
some
what they would
letter
do.
or
They'd be
something
doing
like in
3-4 hour
Chattanooga.
talk
You got a
shows
C on it, a Murder Hornet
about golf,
blasting
but
through.
it's not just golf. Like it's anecdotes and
Wouldn't it be cool if you
stories.
have like a race between a bee and a murder?
Yeah.
Buddy, now let's go to the outfield where Harry the Murder Hornet is going to be running against a couple of bees.
Now,
And you
Disney
get the fans
Springs
dressed
is
up as
not
bees,
Disney World.
and they're running, and if they can outrun the Murder Hornet,
I have no idea. You mean where Tiger and them are playing?
No. They're playing at Medalist. Is that in Orlando?
I thought it was in Jacksonville.
Hobie
Or
Sound?
St. Petersburg, or no.
Hobie Sound.
I know it's somewhere in Florida.
Yeah, Jupiter.
Scratching
West Palm.
West Palm. Because that was that joke that, Peyton wanted it to be more in Indiana or Denver. So they'd hate Brady.
Thanks to Will Gray. Great stuff. And for humoring me at the end. So Disney Springs is open today, and we're trying to figure this thing out in the break. And you can follow along because the stream is live no matter what, twitch.tv/Shander Show. So you can hear Ron and I go back and forth. And in this case, it was about Disney Springs. 44 outlets will be in operation for the first time since mid-March. Now, my understanding is Disney Springs is like the Faneuil Hall of Fenway. Is that right?
Sure.
Disney Springs Shopping Complex.
Yeah. I think it's the equivalent to at Disneyland they have a thing called Downtown Disney, which is just bars and restaurants and stores.
Like Myrtle Beach.
But it's small. It's not they don't have like the typical stores that you're normally used to. Like, they're not going to have I guess outlet stores they're special boutiques. But this I have no idea. I've never heard of.
It's huge. It's 120 acres.
Yeah, maybe this is more like an outdoor mall.
Well, it's
An
got a
outlet mall?
marketplace. It's called another area is called the Landing. There's a town center, and then there's the West Side. Buses.
West Side?
Yep. No East Side. That might be the marketplace. Buses and water taxis.
People are walking around with masks.
Huge.
Except for that guy. That guy's go-karting.
Which one?
I'm just watching video.
Oh, you watching Cornhole again? Oh, man. Christmas Day 2015, a fight broke out at Bongo's Cuban Cafe.
Well, of course it did.
Between a 70-year-old man and a
to watch
restaurant
your team play,
staffer.
but don't know where to go
The
for
man
that
was
pregame
escorted
drink?
out of the restaurant
Visit
after he grabbed the
CoachRoomMap.com
worker's
for all of the
bicep,
hottest spots
which
in
left a
Houston,
mark.
Austin,
The man was
Dallas,
arrested a
Fort
short
Worth,
time
and
later
San
outside
Antonio. From
Starbucks.
the
At
most
some point
popular
during the
bars to
fight,
those favorite
someone
dine-in
falsely
gens,
reported
Coach
hearing
Map has it all.
gunshots at the
Then before you
restaurant.
leave town, why not visit some of the
Suspect
best
was
places
found
to
without a
shop or
weapon,
see some
charged
of the
with
sights?
battery.
Culture Map has extensive coverage on all the things to
Wow.
do in the city you're in. So check out CultureMap.com. That's CultureMap.com.
Now we know what they're famous for.
Pushing the odds with Matt Perrault.
I want to talk about baseball and the money conversation. What's going on?
I think I'm allergic to nuts.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about that later, okay? Madeline, I'm on the air, kiddo. I can't talk right now, okay? We'll talk later, okay? Hold on. Just stay right there. I have a commercial break coming up. This is what I'm dealing with the fiber. And my wife is here. I don't know why. Why is mommy letting you in here, Madeline? Do you want to come on the radio or what? What?
Yes, now.
Yes, now? Wait, so just say hi, then you can be gone, okay?
I'm going to come on the radio now.
You're on the radio now. That microphone's on. You're on the radio now.
Hi, bye.
Those are headphones. Yes, you do. So yeah, that's my life now. Okay, I'm getting interrupted doing national radio with a 5-year-old running in and out. Okay, thanks, hon. Appreciate it. I'll come talk to you during the commercial break. Oh boy. Okay.
Pushing the odds with Matt Perrault. Weekday afternoons from 1 to 4 Eastern on SB Nation Radio.
Hey everybody, RJ Ochoa here from SB Nation's bloggingtheboys.com, your home for the best Dallas Cowboys coverage on the web. And did you know that we have a podcast feed? The Blogging the Boys podcast feed has daily episodes breaking down the latest and greatest in the world of America's team. We have multiple shows, multiple analysts, including a Super Bowl winner. 2-time Super Bowl champion Tony Casillas is part of our rotation, and we want to make sure you are as well. We're available on Apple, Spotify, and wherever else you get your podcasts. So don't miss out. Subscribe to the Blogging the Boys podcast feed today.
Into the night.
Now imagine how pissed off Bryce Harper must have been while he's playing Fortnite with the bros. And he gets dropped in. All of a sudden, his computer beeps, and you have a new message.
Right. Incoming email.
Incoming email from the commissioner. And then he says, bros, I got to stop the Fortnite, man. I'm kicking ass here. I got to put down my joysticks. Brah. By the way, that's Snell Bra, man. That dude, that's my boy right there. And he's got to read a 67-page report, Harry May.
There's no way Snell Bra made it to page 3. Okay, let's be real.
Snell Bra probably opened the first page and said, screw this.
He's not getting paid $7 million to read this.
Hell no. 67 pages. You got to pay me double what I was supposed to get.
And then I'm getting taxed.
It's just not worth it, man. It's just not worth it.
I mean, I'm only getting paid to read 20 pages of it.
Into the Night with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays. Weeknights at 10 Eastern. Pharrell's
Coast to Coast. It's Pharrell, Coast to Coast. We're taking over the world. And I got to tell you, from the beginning, it's been kind of easy. You got to love us on SB Nation. Kicking ass and taking names. Every day, 4 to 6, you catch my Sports Grid Coast to Coast gig. And imagine this. Once we go live again, baby, you're not going to know what hit you when I start pouring beers and shots for you.
Pharrell Coast to Coast with Scott Pharrell. Weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern. Pharrell's
Coast to Coast. It's Pharrell, Coast to Coast. We're taking over the world. And I got to tell you, from the beginning, it's been kind of easy. You got to love us on SB Nation. Kicking ass and taking names. Every day, 4 to 6, you catch my Sports Grid Coast to Coast gig. And imagine this. Once we go live again, baby, you're not going to know what hit you when I start pouring beers and shots for you.
Pharrell Coast to Coast with Scott Pharrell. Weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern.
Wake up call.
Raiders and Saints, right? Big game. Opening up the brand new stadium. But you know what's going to be missing? There's going to be like 15 people in the shot. The black hole is going to have like 4 participants.
Do you think only AI and D show up?
That's right. Yeah. AI and D. Right. That's the only ones they got. Like, yeah, it's all we can fit in.
Yeah.
Social distancing.
Both R's.
S is out. Both R's are gone. They wouldn't let them in the stadium.
Which quarterback is going to shush the crowd?
That's what I was wondering. Which quarterback is going to have the guts to go up to a crowd and go, quiet? I would do it every time I was in the red zone this season. I would be that would be my thing. You're going to be able to hear beer.
The what?
The pizza.
Which one of you 5 want beer? Yeah, I'm over.
What pizza does it? You mean Jordan?
Yeah, the guy refuted the story, I guess.
Nah, we've moved past the Last Dance.
All right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Call. Please, God, if it does come to that. Today we talked an article that came out that was like the top, the other teams of the 90s or the other top teams of the 90s that would deserve a documentary.
Hey, I'm going to take Bob and Jim and Tony. You come with.
Top 5 movie villains according to this one site, Movie Web, that got it horrifically wrong.
What was?
What?
Which was what?
The top 5 movie villains?
Yeah.
Or movie bad guys or some whatever it was. Number 1 was Thanos. Number 2 was Darth Vader. 3 was what was 3?
Some extra money, a cash out refinance could give you that financial.
Shit, forgot what 3 was.
I mean, wow. Jack Nicholson was one of the best Jokers.
Yeah, no, the Joker was on there. Maybe that was 3 or that was 4.
Right.
I know the last one was Kylo Ren.
Who?
Kylo Ren.
I don't know.
You ever watched the new Star Wars films?
No, sorry.
One of the new Star Wars villains. But he's very similar to Darth Vader, so I had issues of making them like the top villain because they're not really a villain.
Right.
In partnership with Jacob Media.
And Thanos, making Thanos the worst movie villain of all time is
I think that's prisoner of the moment.
Yep. But if you go off of people killed per capita, he wins.
Well, yeah. Our second hour begins. We have fake news with Ron Culver coming up in 20 minutes. Before that,
for what?
What do you mean?
You have me coming up in 20 minutes?
I am. Well, not
for
you.
What?
Not you specifically.
No, good. I'm out of here in 20 minutes.
Well, then just play the imaging, and Jake Asman, who I'm sure is still in the building, could take over. Right?
He actually is. I'm looking right at him.
How did I know? Is he there? Does he have a mic in front of him?
Yeah.
Like, is he still in the studio?
He's still in the studio.
Can you pot him up for me, please? I don't understand. This is one of the hardest workers I know. He's a fantastic voice on our network. We are thrilled to have him back as a staple. Now, he's probably on 7 days a week again, like normal.
8. We have him on for 8 days a week.
8. Jake, you know that when your show's over, you can go home, right?
You're right. Normally I would. After the show, I just start, editing some clips and whatnot and posting some stuff to social media. I just posted a clip. I had Joe Rivera on from Sporting News talking about the baseball drama, so just posted a clip. Normally I'd be out of here.
You can't do that at home?
I can, but the computer's already set up. It's already here. I just like to get the work out of the way. But the reason why I'm here so late is because at the top of the hour, I'm taping an interview with Adam Schefter. So otherwise, I would be home by now.
All right, well,
that's the reason.
Okay, first off, I don't believe you. Not that you're taping with Schefter, because I know you're taping with Schefter. You promoted it on your show today. So I have no problem believing you're going to talk to Schefty. But I don't believe you that if you didn't have Schefter on at 1 today Eastern when you're recording, you would still be like you're hanging out with Ron. You're talking to people there's nobody there. You're still hanging out talking to people.
I'm in an empty studio. There's nobody here. If you want to move to Houston, so I have another friend, that would be wonderful.
If you can convince my fiance, then I will gladly move for the golf and the climate. All right. I know I'll sacrifice pizza, but I did that when I moved to Philly.
You'll sacrifice pizza for some barbecue.
Absolutely. I just want you to go home and enjoy your day. You don't have to hang out for 2 hours after your show.
I like listening to you. I
don't.
On the background.
That's
yes,
another lie.
That is false. Ron could tell you my headphones. They play the
show.
show.
I didn't say, hey, I didn't wave to him to jump on. He just knew to jump on.
When you go to the mechanic in here,
Pass me the torque.
Nope, let me have the flame.
No, we just started saying his name louder. I mean, he has it on.
I figured
through his headphones.
Besides online savings account, you could earn much more interest. And hear this.
He's probably trying to steal tips from you.
Not from me, jeez.
Estimate to the 3 largest U.S. banks measured by total deposits. Rates as of February 4th, 2020 and may vary by state.
I have what
Goldman
they
Sachs
are
Bank
now.
USA, member FDIC.
Marketplace houses many shops
CEO
and
of Rocket
restaurants,
Mortgage, making the
reminiscent
right
of the
finance.
American
Dude,
craftsman
how
style.
awesome does this place look, by the way? Like, I think I could walk around here for a day and not spend a dime. I would be okay with that. Man, maybe I'd have to get like some Wetzel's pretzels or something.
Well, to start
you'd
your
have to go out
refinance,
to
you'll
kids.
be well on your way to saving money every month. The rate today
Right.
on our 30-year fixed rate mortgage is 3.37.
No, I'm pretty good about not spending any money.
Really, with them?
Yeah.
Cash out
Just give them ultimatums. Say, that means you don't get this when we get home, or you don't get this and you don't get that.
Right.
And then when we get home, you should have spent your money at the store today. Dude, you're an idiot.
At Mortgage, we're committed to every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses, giving you the best mortgage experience. Call us today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Rate subject.
Yeah, I found an interactive map.
Oh wow. I'm only on their
This is DisneySprings.com/Disney-Springs-map. And you can kind of cruise through
/Disney.
And with your local Ace right in your neighborhood,
Disney
we'll
what?
assemble and deliver your grill for free. Then, to make it even easier, we'll include free
DisneySprings.com
fuel to help you
/Disney
get
what?
grilling. The brands you love and
I'm going to send it to you. Hold on.
only at Ace. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members through May 31st on grills and accessories $3.99 and up. Propane tag not included. See participating stores for scheduling or exclusions.
Hello, friends. It's Jim Nance. Right now, the greater Houston community has more than 1.1 million food insecure people relying on Houston
You should be getting an email.
Network. That's why the Spirit Golf Association created the Spirit Food Fund to respond to unprecedented need and support Houston Food Bank. The goal is to raise
His
$2
voice
million
almost sounds
and
like-
provide hundreds of volunteers.
It almost
The
sounds
Spirit
disingenuous
Food Fund
because
is
of how,
asking for
like,
your
he's- I don't know,
support
it's weird.
to help
Like, I
with
love
food
Jim Nance. I'm not
recovery,
ripping him, so it's
sorting,
gonna sound
and
like I am, but it's
distribution, as well
But
as the
it's like- it's
creation
like
of
so
emergency
deliberate.
food boxes for families across our community.
Epcot.
A $10
Am I on-
donation
Oh,
will
okay.
provide 30
I'm
meals
next to the
for those
lagoon.
who need it most.
Have you
Please
seen that?
text
That's
Spirit
not part of
Food
it, right?
Fund to 414.
No, Typhoon Lagoon is different.
No, Typhoon Lagoon. Yeah, that's isn't that the water park?
Yes, good call.
Yeah, I'm not there.
Chip in for our friends and neighbors.
I mean, this is breaking news here.
You're listening to The Second Level, presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. From the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, with way more than the scores, here's Eitan Shander.
Fake news, a little over 10 minutes with Ron Culver. After that, we'll touch on the NFL's expectation of positive cases when their season resumes. But before that, before even fake news, I'm going to get to two things. First, this anecdote that popped out where we haven't seen many people at all. Even back then, we didn't see many people who played on the first three teams that Jordan won rings leave and then say, my goodness, that was the worst experience of my life. I wish I never went through that. If I could do anything again over, it would be to not play for Michael Jordan. We have people recently, and I'm not saying that he was justified or even right in his position, but at the very least, you had an example of somebody trying to get away from LeBron James in Cleveland before LeBron eventually left, and Kyrie. Now, he's his own man, his own mind, and a unique cat in Irving. I get that. But the point of it is that there were no detractors. And you guys, I guess you knew it. Like, you put up with whatever was going on that day because you knew at the end of the year you were going to win. Like, you just knew you were going to win no matter what. You had that guy on your team. It's how people describe playing with Derek Jeter. Remember that famous conversation with Boone and Jeter in the dugout when they're down and Jeter looks over, is like, just wait. Sox blow it. They implode. Of course, the Yankees turned around and did it later, but still, in that moment where that was the typical description you would have, and there aren't many people on the planet who have that type of association where other really good, if not great players are saying, we just knew, man. How many people do you think say that about Tom Brady the years that they won championships? D guys on D, just watching him. We just knew. Linemen, receivers, whoever, we just knew. Hey, at Belichick, like you'd have Phil and calming people down. Now, I missed this. I don't know when this happened as far as when it came out, I guess in the last day. It dates back to the mid-90s, in fact, the final year in The Last Dance. And I missed this the first time around, so it was really the one time that you have somebody standing up to Michael Jordan. Because even after the fact, yeah, I got punched in the face, but we won. Nobody ever stood up in regards to Jordan says something, that guy said something, Jordan says, oh, yeah, and then that guy says, oh, yeah. It was kind of like Jordan would say something, other guy would say something, Jordan would either say, oh, yeah, or Jordan would just punch you in the face. So I'll read this where Robert Parrish, now you have not heard this story, correct, Ron? About
No.
Robert Parrish playing.
You're saying Chief?
I am saying Big Chief.
Okay. Yeah,
Parrish.
I've not heard the story.
He left the Celtics in 94 for Charlotte. He played 2 years there. His final year in the league, he was in 96, 97, where he played with the Bulls in Chicago with Jordan, won a ring. The article says there he regained an appreciation for Bird's leadership style. This is the quote from Robert Parrish. Now, this isn't even the meat of it. What set Larry apart from Magic and Jordan was he wasn't an in-your-face leader like they were. He had way too much respect for us. If you weren't having a good night, he was more inclined to encourage you or not say anything at all. But Magic and Jordan would jump all over you. So Parrish explains this anecdote. Again, I don't know how it was missed or combed over. Maybe it was on purpose at this point because you would think, wow, this is like one of the few, if not the lone examples we have of this. In one of his first practices with the Bulls, Robert Parrish, Big Chief, botched one of the plays and was amused to find Jordan jawing at him just inches from his face. Parrish quoted, I told him, I'm not as enamored with you as these other guys. I've got some rings too. At that point, he told me, I'm going to kick your ass. I took one step closer and said, no, you really aren't. After that, he didn't bother me. End quote. Whoa. Do we ever have any other example like that? Horace Grant allegedly wasn't allowed to eat on the road. And here comes Big Chief saying, I'm not buying it. I don't know if it's because he won or if it's just because at that point in his career, he had enough and he wasn't listening to anybody. But that story is one that we have. And again, it wasn't publicized. It wasn't a big thing. Clearly, during the time, nobody knew or discussed this. This was essentially just buried. But two things. One, until we see or hear other, I don't think that we have anything like this. I don't think we have another story where somebody checked Michael Jordan and Jordan didn't do anything back. And Jordan just didn't buy. Now, I don't know. Maybe Jordan realized, I guess one theory could be you're talking about 96, 97, right? So things are already coming to a close, like starting to at some point in that final 3 years. Jordan's back from baseball. Maybe he looks at it like, I've got other things to worry about than a guy who's barely going to make an impact on the team this year. I don't know. Or maybe it's more so that's all it took. Instead of lasting one punch, like with Mike Tyson, you had to last a couple of punches, maybe even a round. And then Jordan would be like, all right, man, let's just leave this guy alone. Now, I separate the thing about Bird's leadership, Magic's leadership, Jordan's leadership. All of this worked. It's the same in your corporate job or whatever you do where you answer to somebody and you may have answered to somebody different in years past and maybe you're the boss now. Whatever the case is, it's a very simple example that we have really across the board here. Bosses are different. Could be a program director. It could be a supervisor in the dock, at the forklift, whatever. Doesn't matter. What you have is essentially practice. Bosses are different. Leaders are different. Some do it one way where it wears on you. Others are encouraging. They're supportive. But results are usually what dictates, especially in the NBA. Results is what dictated. But it is a small little story there about somebody, at least one person, doing this. Now, the other thing I was going to mention on this is if, in fact, more people did this, why do you think it isn't public? Because I'm trying to reason through this, right? If, in fact, let's say other people in practice every now and again did this to Jordan and stood up to Jordan and that was it. Why has that been omitted from not only The Last Dance, but just the story surrounding Jordan? Jordan doesn't control the media. Jordan doesn't control what gets printed and put up on ESPN. All it would take, and how often do we see big time celebrities, big name? Somebody says, well, they weren't really like that. And sometimes it's somebody that you don't know, like a friend from home who is looking for a payday. Other times it's just somebody who doesn't have to deal with the subject anymore. A former teammate who doesn't have to show up at practice anymore and isn't in the same circle that Michael Jordan is anymore. The only thing we have is Robert Parrish saying, no, you won't kick my butt. That's it. Man, winning really does cure all. Isn't it crazy? Winning will make, because I'm left to believe nothing else. Is there, Ron, you heard this story now for the first time. Do you have any alternate theory about why we wouldn't have heard, if in fact this happened outside of just Parrish, why we wouldn't have heard more?
Yeah.
What is it?
I'm wondering why.
Okay.
I'm wondering why.
Okay.
Why are we? Why are we starting to hear these stories now?
Well, it's only one.
Well, no. I mean, you can combine it. I mean, regarding with pizza, you can kind of combine it with Jordan's.
Oh, the pizza story,
the Pizza Gate.
Yeah, apparently the pizza delivery guy is refuted.
I'm just saying, celebrities and pizza delivery. What's going on?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Apparently, they need to start ordering more Ilios.
I'm telling you. Have you had it yet? Have you ordered it yet?
Of course not. I can't find it. It's not my area.
I guarantee you that it's at a Kroger.
I guarantee you it's not. I will look today.
Have you even tried looking?
Not since yesterday. No.
Okay.
But I've never seen it. I have hit the pizza aisle several occasions.
You hit the frozen pizza aisle, not the ready-made or just the pop.
No, we don't have that.
Really? You don't have the ready-made aisle?
No.
I thought Kroger and Publix, the down south ones, do.
No. In Arizona, we had there was a store called Bashers.
Okay.
There you can go
and get your own, right?
You can just go and say, I want a large cheese or a large pepperoni, do your shopping, come back, and it was ready for you.
Okay. Well, the assistant manager at Park City's Pizza Hut in Utah claimed in an interview on Monday that it's a crap story.
Now, let me ask you this, all right? Is he just coming out of the woodwork just to get a name for himself?
Who do you believe? Okay.
How do we know he is the guy who delivered the pizza or made the pizza?
I would assume that the news outlet vetted him, but I don't know
doubt
anything.
It. They probably said, let's just, this guy's
just
coming
run
forward. Let's just run it.
Yeah.
We don't even know if this is the right guy. Would Jordan have ordered pizza from Pizza Hut? Remember, they didn't name the pizza place.
No, they didn't. But Pizza Hut is the guy that comes out and says, yes, I did it. Park City's Pizza Hut.
Throwing the good name of Pizza Hut under the bus right now.
It's a thin crust pepperoni pizza.
They
Craig
didn't have
Feit
thin crust back then.
is the guy's name.
That's how we know he's lying. They didn't have thin crust back then, did they?
Yeah, they thin crust before. Well, yes, thin crust and deep dish. Now I work for
Original Pan.
Right. Original Pan. And that's when Domino's had to step their game up and offer their own deep dish. Right around the time when I worked for them in summer going to Gettysburg College.
So you were slinging pizza pies?
I was slinging Domino's, man.
No, Domino's.
I was slinging Domino's in the summer at Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Now, the difference is comparable as far as population when the college is going versus when the college is out to like the shore in Atlantic City or any other shore spots versus the winter, right? I'll never forget this real quick, and we'll hit fake news coming up. This is a real story. I was delivering for Domino's, and July 1st, 2nd, 3rd, they reenact the actual battle at Gettysburg. And at that point, you're talking about legit hardcore reenactors, not people that come in the middle of March or November just to look at what Little Round Top looks like. I'm talking about people that are dressed in the full garb. They're making their food outside in a fire. They're dealing with the only thing that's not real are the diseases and the guns. Everything else is legit. So I get a call. I look at the address and I'm thinking it doesn't really make sense because it's one of the welcome centers on the road right outside of Gettysburg, like downtown Gettysburg where the Domino's is. So I drive out thinking, all right, maybe somebody works there, but I thought they would be closed. Lo and behold, they're closed. Up run 2 women and, oh, that's our pizza, right? All of us, now they're in full garb as well. Like they're dressed like Civil War reenactors, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference from a distance if they were real or reenactors. Now, all of a sudden, because they see me in the Domino's shirt and everything, the group behind them turns angry. Not violent, but angry. And they start yelling and cursing at these women for breaking protocol and ordering a Domino's pizza. I'll never forget that. Yelling, like I remember getting the heck out of there because I didn't know guns real or not at that point. I just wanted out. Yelling and cursing at how bleeping dare you, and just it was a madhouse. Fake news next.
Into the night.
Ernie Johnson, the host of the NBA on TNT, joins us right
now.
Is that your last day on the job?
No. I just got out.
No, I would have said thank you. I need to go home, change my underwear.
My last day. My last day on the job. Funny as it is, they told me that there were places that don't expect much of a tip. It's like, all right, whatever. Somebody calls at like 10:30 at night on a Thursday night from one of the trailer parks outside of Gettysburg. I drive out, hit the double wide, not like go to the double wide, knock on the door. I give this guy, I remember it was at least 2 pies, cheese bread, wings. Like he had an order, right? He paid me down to the penny. It was over $30 at least, and he paid me down to the penny.
I'm Gabriel Morency. Wow. Join me and the Raging Redhead, Cam Stewart, weekdays at 6 Eastern.
And at that point, I'm like, look, guys, I'm not.
The loudest station.
If half of my orders I'm not getting tipped, what the hell am I doing here?
Yeah.
Now, best bets, prop. If they're playing, we'll find a number on it. Bring it. Weekdays at 6, SB Nation Radio.
This guy, like some little dude.
Game time decisions with Gabe Morency and Cam Stewart.
There you go.
Weekdays at 6 p.m. Eastern.
36, 37.
With Matt Perrault.
Tim Brando on Twitter to follow him joining us on the Progressive Guest Line. People are saying without students on campus, you can't play college football.
We can thank Mark Emmert
the more far north you go, it doesn't have,
Mark Emmert has no jurisdiction really over college football.
There are some thick accents, like you have southern accents
run by the universities of Georgia and Oklahoma that forced the NCAA out of the financial realm of college football. It's like the guy in the California system making this sweeping statement about nothing but online classes later in the year, and he's making the decision with data in May. These guys that just want to see their names in print making bold decisions that they don't have to make, they illustrate what happens with misuse of power. And the real leaders are doing the right things behind the scenes, and then they'll make their splash when the time comes. And I'm telling you, I think that time will be sometime next month.
Pushing the Odds with Matt Perrault. Weekday afternoons from 1 to 4 Eastern on SB Nation Radio. Ferrall.
Coast to coast. It's Ferrall, coast to coast, every day, 4 to 6. I talk to the biggest names in sports. I talk to GMs, coaches, owners, players, and they're all doing the same thing. They're laughing, and they're breaking up, and they don't know whether they're coming or going when I'm done with them. I'm giving you what you want. Sports, down your throat, big time on SB Nation, baby.
Ferrall, Coast to Coast with Scott Ferrall. Weekdays from 4 p.m.
Now, I had
to 6
odds on
p.m.
Disney
Eastern.
reopening.
So, can I ask you a question?
Fake news with Ron. With all the fake news out there,
Don't believe those lies.
it's on Shander to give it to you straight. 3 stories, but only one is fake. It's
true. I know it's a weird thought, but it's true.
Can Shander spot the fraud? Here's Ron Culver.
Fake news. You ready?
I am. We still need to get to the Disney Springs update.
We do.
But yes.
We do. At some point, we'll get to Disney Springs because that place looks kind of fun.
I agree. I might have to break quarantine.
I'm going
here.
back on it. I'm agreeing with you. If you were listening to us off air, I'm agreeing with you. I'd probably have to leave the kids at home.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with
just
you.
an observation.
Just noticing some of the different things that they had
Activities,
there
if you
that, yeah, I would. I just short of pushing them into a lake, I would probably end up losing money.
Fair enough.
Yep. All right. You ready?
I am.
Story number one. Joe Exotic's legal team is currently in Washington, D.C. to ask President Trump for a pardon. And they plan to raise awareness for this just by driving a bus around the D.C. metro area.
Well, that's the thing now, isn't it? To drive around your neighborhood. Gritty.
Is it? I
Well,
guess.
the NHL mascot here, Gritty, world famous.
Listen,
drives
should
around.
you be modeling your life after Gritty?
Well, I think so. And
I'm just
and a
asking. I don't
pandemic?
know. I'm just asking.
Well, okay, hold on a second.
I'm asking for a friend.
And I'm going to answer for a friend, all right? Who
My
would
friend-
you
my-
rather model
my-
your life after,
my friend
Gritty
is
or
Orbit.
Joe Exotic?
Well, Joe Exotic did have all the straight gay love.
He also
So he
allegedly
does have
killed
that.
somebody.
No, well, he didn't. Did he? I thought he was just he's in jail for hiring someone to try to kill someone.
Okay, well, that's
And
not
that per-
pretty.
and that person chickened out. But according to Joe, he's innocent.
I'm sure. I'm sure Joe believes he's innocent. He might be innocent. But my point of it is that as we know right now, Gritty is not serving any sentence for hiring somebody to
Yes,
break
we
another
don't know that.
mascot's leg.
We don't know. I mean, think about this. Had if Gritty was going to do the Fanatic a solid, would Gritty take care of Orbit?
Absolutely.
And Orbit, if you guys don't know, that's the Astros mascot.
Right.
So, I mean, Gritty could get away with it.
Yes, but Gritty
You
would
would never
do it.
expect Gritty.
Gritty would do it itself. Gritty wouldn't hire somebody.
Well, I'm saying, yeah, Gritty would do it himself. But what if the Fanatic hired Gritty to take care of it? Because the Fanatic is, world renowned.
Well, that's the difference, though, is Gritty isn't going to put anything on public record that would land him in jail. That's the difference. Street smarts versus being an idiot. And you get caught.
I love how we developed the old mascot murder for hire plan.
It's because you brought up Galooly and Harding yesterday.
Yeah, it's still on my mind, I guess.
All right, what's two?
Story number two, Giants cornerback DeAndre Baker is going with the often used Madden defense, claiming he was playing Madden on his PlayStation, which he brought to that party, by the way,
right
when the robbery occurred.
Meaning he could not have been part of the robbery since he was online playing.
Well, online is kind of iffy. I don't know about that. But if you look at his PlayStation, you could see where it's kind of timestamped that he was on playing a video game when the robbery took place. That he did not make a $70,000 bet with anyone. And what else proves innocence? That when chaos broke out at the party, he waited to get into his car patiently. He didn't take the first available ride and try to hightail it out of there.
All right, well, these are now three different pieces of details that I have to comb over to see if one of them is fake. That would mean the whole story.
No. I mean, I'm not going to do that to you.
So what's the Madden angle? Is it the fact that now he can prove he was playing a video game
He was
and not
playing a
robbing
video
people?
game and not robbing people.
Okay, but was there a
He was
camera?
playing Madden.
Did he have the camera on? I have a camera from my PlayStation.
Probably not.
So anybody could have signed into his gamer tag.
The other part to keep in mind was that he brought his own personal PlayStation over to this house party.
Yes, okay. That is a key element that could work against him, because if in fact it's his PlayStation that he brought over, it's already signed in. It's an automatic sign in when you load it up. So somebody else, all he could have done is fired it up and given the controller to somebody else and say, here, play Madden. And that person would have been playing under his game tag.
Very true.
All right. What's story three?
Story number three, that the reason behind Facebook creating this new avatar trend, have you noticed it? Everyone on Facebook, do you Facebook?
I only post that.
That's the same with me. But when I do post and I'm waiting for a post to load, sometimes I'll
you don't scroll down.
I'll scroll down.
You're
for
not
a second
supposed
or
to
two.
scroll down on Facebook anymore, I thought.
I know,
right?
but everyone is posting avatars of themselves. And Facebook gave out a reason that the reason why the avatar trend has taken off is because all the barbershops and hair salons are closed and no one's taking selfies of themselves.
So when I think of these three stories, the one that just jumps out of me, like I didn't have that same feeling with the first two that it's just fake. And I don't know if I'm catching up to you or if you're just stepping your game up and evolving. Meaning if I'm right or if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But it's just this initial gut of that story and doing this segment with you now for a month at least, right? That I feel like that I don't know why, but my gut just tells me that the last one is fake. Because again, like you could see people on Zoom, or like there's some Zoom story about, or a story about people on Zoom that are afraid to get on camera because they haven't shaved or cut their hair in a month. And you thought, oh, let me get Shander by making up this avatar thing on Facebook.
So they post a picture of a potato of themselves.
Instead of themselves. I'm going to say story 3 is fake.
You're going to say story 3 is fake?
I am.
You know what? You're pretty good on a Wednesday.
Is that it?
Yeah. Story 3 is made up.
You just made it completely up, right?
Yeah.
And there was...
I was trying to come up with a reason why all this avatar business is going on. Now, the true part of it is Facebook does have a bunch of people on Facebook are posting avatars left and right of themselves. That part is true. The reasoning behind it, the science behind it, I don't know. I'm assuming maybe it's because they don't want pictures of themselves.
It's a good guess. It's really good, but
yeah.
All right, nice job. Nailed one. NFL concerns next. Nice,
Jay
man.
Farner here, CEO of Rocket.
Hey, listen, Tom, I got a clip to play for you at the
end. Okay, I'll break it at
Can help guide
50-51.
you to those
That'll be good.
All right.
when they matter most. Mortgage rates are near historic lows, so now is a great time to call 8338-ROCKET. And if you need some extra money, a cash-out refinance could give you that financial boost you're looking for. Call today at 8338-ROCKET or go to rocketmortgage.com to learn more.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS number 3030.
Dell Technologies has special business savings right now to help you office everywhere and stay productive. Save up to 45% on desktops, laptops, and do-it-all servers with Intel Core processors. Upgrade to new modern devices with Windows 10 and save on essential electronics. All with free shipping on everything and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call 877-ASK-DELL for a Dell Technologies advisor who can help you find the right tech. That's 877-ASK-DELL or visit Dell.com/smallbusinessdeals.
Did you know online alcohol sales have more than tripled since March? Yep, drinking from home is at an all-time high. And Cheers is here to help fight those pesky hangovers. Whether you drink a little or a lot, Cheers is designed to reduce alcohol's negative effects and help you feel better the next day. It works by neutralizing the toxins that affect your liver and replacing the vitamins you lose when you drink alcohol. No more waking up with headaches or nausea after a night of drinking. It's the best thing to happen to alcohol since alcohol. To use Cheers, just take 2 to 4 capsules after your last drink or before bed. If you don't feel at least 50% better the next day, you'll get your money back. No questions asked. To order Cheers, simply visit cheershealth.com/radio and use promo code radio10 at checkout. You'll get $10 off your next order and at least 50% off your next hangover. That's cheershealth.com/radio. Promo code radio10. See cheers to brighter mornings. Your liver will thank you.
When you go to the mechanic in here,
Pass me the torque. Nope, let me have the flamethrower.
that sounds wrong. You know what else sounds wrong? When you hear about the interest you're earning on your savings with the largest banks. But with the Marcus by Goldman Sachs online savings account, you could earn much more interest. And hear this. Open a Marcus by Goldman Sachs online savings account in minutes at marcus.com. You can money.
Comparison made to the 3 largest U.S. banks measured by total deposits. Rates as of February 4th, 2020 and may vary by state. Goldman Sachs Bank USA, member FDIC.
Hello, friends. It's Jim Nance. Right now, the greater Houston community has more than 1.1 million food insecure people. That's why the Spirit Golf Association created the Spirit Food Fund. The goal is to raise $2 million and provide hundreds of volunteers. Please text Spirit Food Fund to 41444 and help with whatever you can. Donate to the Spirit Food Fund, benefiting the Houston Food Bank.
Wow, this thing with Bregman, huh? Did you see this?
Yeah, he's out.
When did this come out?
Dealing with the root
I think yesterday
of Rocket Mortgage by
or early this morning.
Wiley Auto Parts Studios. Here's Eitan Shander.
So we have to update you on the Disney Springs situation, and then we'll play One for the Road. Might as well just call it that, as Ron has a clip, audio version of One for the Road before we get out of here. I can't wait for that. The NFL is concerned, but I did see this Lance Bregman story pop, which apparently came out earlier this morning. And I don't know. I'll defer to you, okay, Ron Culver, because I trust your mind when it comes to radio production and executing a talk show, which you do both.
Man,
I don't know what you do
famous
during
last
Asman's
words.
show, but I know that Tony and you are co-hosting a show, and I'm putting you to work way more than whatever the bottom line says that you're supposed to do for the show. So I get that, but we can go one of two ways: more concern and more conjecture, and yes, I am leading the witness, and more up in the air about what could happen and what will happen, and if in fact the NFL returns, will there be positive cases like we've seen elsewhere with other parts of the country returning and opening up? Or we could go the Lance Bregman story. Alex Bregman
You mean
story.
Alex Bregman?
Yeah.
It was Lance Berkman.
Yeah, I don't know why I conflated the two, but it happens.
Neither here
Now,
nor there.
Bregman or NFL concerns? What do you think would be
should we tease? See, wait, the logical thing to do here is to tease each of them a little bit to give a little bit more detail. That way, you're not leaving people hanging.
Well, I only have 8 minutes, or really technically
Right.
9 minutes to talk
So
about
basically, I mean, you can sum up the Alex Bregman story and let people formulate their own opinions. You don't need there's not a whole.
I think we can have some fun with this.
Well,
don't you?
we can have some fun with it, but there's not a whole lot there to go off of just yet. I think this story still needs a little bit more meat to it.
Well, okay. Now I'm intrigued. Let me give out the story, and then you explain why it's lacking meat on the bone. Okay.
Okay.
Bregman and LeBron James share the same agency, Clutch Sports Group.
Kind of, except LeBron wasn't going through Clutch. It was his agent who founded Clutch. I don't think LeBron was using the full faculties of the sports group. I think because this guy was probably just saying, I'm going to keep you all to myself. I'm not going to share you with anybody.
Well, in what, like, LeBron has an agent.
Yeah, who founded Clutch.
Correct.
But what I'm saying is I don't know if LeBron was a part of Clutch.
Oh, yeah, he has stake. Absolutely, he does.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm saying Rich Paul might just be keeping him for himself.
Well, the issue comes into play in the NBA. But I'm sorry. I missed the joke. I apologize.
No, there's no joke.
Oh.
You're getting to the fun part, and I'm laughing in anticipation.
Okay, so basically, Clutch is Chris Paul. Now I'm throwing wrong names all over the place
Yeah.
here. Clutch is James
Will Chamberlain's.
Right. It's Wilt Chamberlain's agency group, right? Clutch Sports Group. And Bregman is repped, or at least was repped, by Clutch Sports Group. And here's the thing. LeBron James' agent is in charge of Clutch, but it's something that they created. And LeBron has his hands in everything and gets a kickback or percentage, even if it has to be written a certain way, because it's a conflict of interest, of course, in the NBA. But that doesn't have anything to do with James and the NBA. It has to do with Bregman. So the documentary is now being produced by LeBron James And I don't think it has anything to do with Clutch so much as just Clutch represented Bregman. But there's now a documentary out being produced by LeBron per The Athletic on the sign stealing scandal. So Bregman said, quote, "It's the last straw," who is dropping his agent and leaving the Clutch umbrella.
Yep.
Now, here's where this is my thought on all of this. And then I'm curious why you think that there needs to be more meat. My thought is LeBron James doesn't owe anybody at Clutch an explanation if he is going to produce a money-making documentary. And there are going to be a lot of people that will watch a documentary on the Houston Astros sign-stealing scandal. At the same time, I don't think Alex Bregman has to sit there and say, all right, well, I'm going to still hang with these guys. He has every right. I mean, people fire agents off a whim, off a bad day. So this, I could understand why Bregman would say enough is enough, especially let's just say hypothetically that he's not getting calls back normally. Hey, man, I have some problems down here. What about these endorsements you promised me? Are you going to move me to a bigger home? Whatever it may be. And still, you have no response. Now that could be the final straw. Remember, his term, he said the final straw. Is that what you mean by meat?
Yes.
That we need to know what built up to this.
It's one thing is it the final straw with the sports agency, or is it the final straw of this sign stealing scandal? Even in a pandemic, the sign stealing scandal is haunting the Astros. Like I just didn't understand the final straw. Is the final straw, like I said, the final straw dealing with the agency or the scandal itself?
I took it as
the scandal itself is over, basically,
right,
except that players now need to get hit.
That's what I thought it's the final straw with the agency. This guy's not returning my calls. They promised me these shoe deals, and here I am sitting there wearing stuff I wore in Double A.
I mean, is that kind of seems like a bad look in a way for this agency, but I guess if you take care of your bread and butter, you're fine.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's not like, and this goes back to your point, there is at least 1 degree of separation between LeBron James and Clutch Sports.
And Rich Paul.
So I get Bregman's overall association with, hey, LeBron James is connected to Clutch. He's not Clutch, but he's connected to Clutch. So I get it. I'm trying to think of what a good analogy would be here, but to just explain it out even more, Bregman is represented by a wing, like the Disney Springs of Disney World,
right?
Like an arm, a leg, a connection to it. But whoever's in charge of the entire Disney World is separated a little bit from Disney Springs. So that's where I think, looking at it, I took it as final straw, and I'm curious if this comes out to where it's really a problem.
Yeah, are there more issues surrounding this? Is Alex Bregman the only one
that
hasn't been getting love from his agent?
And the only thing that set him off to the point where he had to leave.
Or is it just an isolated incident with just Alex Bregman? By the way, Alex Bregman, how fast before he gets signed by Scott Boras?
Oh, I would think that they're talking right now, right?
Yeah,
he's a star in the league.
While they're listening to the show,
yes,
they are discussing. They're saying right now, oh, that 8-ton run, they know.
They're already. Yeah. They actually have it in there.
We should just cut a deal anyways. They already know.
We're not going to get any cut of it, even though
there's no finder's fee, fee. There's nothing. We can't charge him a thing.
He's dropping the agent Brody Schofield or Schofield.
Brody Schofield?
Well, there are 2 F's in it, so I think it's Schofield. Brody Schofield.
All right. I'll take your word for it.
I guess Brody wasn't returning texts, wasn't returning calls, wasn't returning emails.
But did he change his number?
He did. New phone. All of that.
New phone. Who dis?
Absolutely. He was looking around. Like, wait a second. You told me here, man. You told me you were going to get me this endorsement. Comes back with like a flower shop and
does he not want to be associated with Bregman, afraid of being hit by a foul ball, or not a foul ball, fastball?
I don't know.
What is he the type of agent? Does Alex Bregman walk into a meeting? He's like, I need an agent who will jump in front of a Aroldis Chapman fastball for me.
And Brody Schofield looked up and said, "That ain't me.
That ain't me.
Check,
I'm
please.
not going to return your call. Sorry.
Sorry, pal. You're asking way too much." Now, I will say, though, from the other standpoint, here's the thing. Let's say this documentary comes out and makes Bregman look bad. Have they not dodged a bullet?
Isn't it not going to make the Astros look bad? But at the same time, with the Astros, listen, I'm a Dodgers fan. Been one for as long as I can think about being a baseball fan or a fan of baseball. Dodgers have been my team.
Back when they were in Brooklyn.
Exactly, because I'm that old. 2017 World Series, although it hurts, we lost that series. The Astros didn't beat us.
I'm just saying, though, without going through the details of the saga and scandal, and I agree that it's not going to be all 100% Astros bad.
Yeah.
But the documentary could be.
Definitely.
History, you're right, is way more even, but the documentary, so hypothetically, if the documentary comes out and Bregman looks really bad, like a lot of these guys are going to look bad.
Just as much as Jordan thought this documentary was going to make him look bad, and we're like, dude,
we love you.
You weren't going to make yourself look bad.
But in this case, since
Jerry Krause
LeBron
looks
is
evil,
doing
though.
it, don't you think that there would be concern? Now Clutch has dodged a bullet if they don't have to excuse and answer away why they're harboring a cheater. Clutch can say, we don't represent cheaters.
I don't know about that. Yeah, I guess I can see it that way. I don't know about harbor. It sounds like they're harboring a criminal.
I know,
the way you set that up.
All right. Speaking of setup, you've got one for the road audio
I got one
edition.
for the road, yeah.
When we get out of here, coming up next on the second level.
Introducing AutomotiveMap.com, a brand new website for anyone interested in what's happening in the world of automobiles. From reviews on the latest vehicles to vintage rides to tips on keeping your family safe on the road, AutomotiveMap.com has something for you. If you love cars, trucks, and SUVs, and the amazing technology hitting your favorite showroom, check out the brand new AutomotiveMap.com.
Wake up call.
I would say this too. If you're going to do the Peyton Manning challenge, do it after the Tiger Woods, Phil Mickelson, Tom Brady.
Right.
That way
Absolutely.
you get the behind the scenes scoop. Like, okay,
what up?
What's Tiger really like?
I'll tell you what, man. Tiger
What's
does
going on,
not
buddy?
shut up. That whole time we were playing, Tiger could not stop talking the whole time. I think I talk a lot. Tiger talks. That would be great.
Yeah.
I would be totally into that.
Did Phil just walk around flexing all the time?
Phil thinks he's good. Nobody loves Phil than Phil.
All right, do you want to
Like, if
set
you got
this
that
up?
information, that'd be gold. Like, I like Phil, but I don't like Phil as much as Phil likes Phil. You know what I mean? I had my fill of Phil after hole 3. How about that? That would be great. That's worth $500,000.
Oh, easily.
Wake Up Call with Tony D and Ron Culver. Weekday mornings. Into the night.
Seriously, now. Are we done with this yet? Not yet. What do you mean, are we done? You called here. You want me to be like a regular talk show host and just hang up on you and run him? Should I run him, Eric? Rack him. No, I'm not racking him. They're not racking him. Jim Rome only racks great calls. He has a take, but he sort of sucks at the same time. I think that's going to be my new thing. You had a take or two, but for the most part, I got to run you.
Into the Night with Tony Bruno and Harry Mays. Weeknights at 10 Eastern. The second level.
The first, and I can't get it out of my head, Tony's Fauci is awful. I think I've heard Tony do other impressions. I've heard him do voices, if you will. And they're all great. They're all on the level. But I don't know. There's something about that Fauci that's really off. This is the dueling Faucis here.
That the idea of having treatments available to
I just sent you an email.
into the fall.
It's the Twitter link to the story I was gonna have for you,
Okay.
and I'll
I
explain
got
what it is. Don't pay attention to the name of it.
Should I open it up?
Yeah, you can open it up. You might want to watch. Maybe turn the sound down.
No, I have it muted anyway.
But
my
when
laptop.
I start my clip, you might want to start yours.
So I can watch it?
So you can kind of see a little bit. I'm only doing half of it.
Okay,
I'm
yeah, I
not
see
doing
it's
the
2
whole thing.
minutes.
Yeah, I'm only doing half of it.
You're listening to The Second Level, presented by Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans. From the O'Reilly Auto Parts Studios, with way more than the scores, here's Eitan Shander.
Best part of the day was not being laughed out of the building by Will Gray of the Golf Channel when I proposed what I still think would be a better Sunday than what we have and eliminate anybody but Tiger and Phil on the front nine. So that's all you have, those two on the front nine. And then instead of Brady and Manning on the back nine, you throw Ron and I or anybody who normally hits 105 to 110 in the back. And that's a guy in the Golf Channel who agreed that putting a camera on Tiger's face as you watch his partner miss putt or blow out a drive 50 to 60 yards hard to the right would be pretty good TV. Now, speaking of which, you found something that's probably even better TV, right?
This is made for reality TV. Basically, there's an event in Texas, and which is it's an area called the Bolivar Peninsula, which is right next to Galveston. Many people have heard of Galveston, Texas. Famous spring break destination. Not really that much anymore, but it used to be. And adjacent to it, just across, a quick ferry trip over, is this place called Bolivar Peninsula. And every year they have this thing that Jeep sponsors, Jeep Wranglers sponsors, and it's called Go Topless Jeep event. Right?
Okay.
And it's a huge party and it's ginormous. Last year, 80 people were arrested because a huge fight broke out. 6 people were hospitalized.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
So with that being said, a lot of attention is being paid to this particular place, to the Topless Jeep event. I'm being told no relation to Jeep, by the way. They just call it everyone goes there with their Jeeps.
Okay.
But no relation to the company Jeep.
Okay, that's
I'm making that clear because our Jeep rep is letting me know right now.
Got it.
So no relation to the company Jeep, but it's everyone goes there.
Our Jeep rep is well aware that you are the one who brought this up, right? Like, I'm not going to get burned for bringing
You're not
going to
get burned for it.
Okay.
No. But what I want to do is I'm playing the news clip because it's a made for Saturday Night Live news clip, like parody. Because everyone that you hear looks exactly as they sound.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. And I'm going to share it, and we're going to play it live on the stream as you play the audio.
All right. Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Been in quarantine, and I need to get out and party. Woo!
Go Topless Jeep Weekend.
What's better than beach and a few drinks and Jeeps? Man, it getting better than that.
In full swing at beaches on Bolivar Peninsula. This event comes at a time where beaches across the state are reopening following the coronavirus pandemic. And beachgoers like Chelsea Collier are still taking precautions to stay safe.
Wash them hands for 20 seconds and keep them clean with their Germ-X. Totally.
At last year's Go Topless event, chaos erupted. About 80 people were arrested. 6 people were taken to the hospital. But this go-round, the Galveston County Sheriff's Office has enlisted the help of 40 DPS troopers.
Come down, have a good time. You have a good time, there's no issues. But when you start acting silly, like the sheriff said on the previous interview, we've got a jail that's got a whole lot of empty holes.
Where to begin? So
watch them hands.
Yeah, seriously. And this is said by somebody who's not even wearing a mask.
Yeah, well, no. Well, I would have said this was last year, but obviously it's not. I mean, some of the footage was from last year, but this footage, the people that you're listening to are from this year.
Correct.
Who got there early to claim their spot.
But the footage was like doctored, if you will, to go with stuff from last year. But that person was talking, saying, wash your.
Yeah, she's talking this year.
My goodness.
And then the guy in the sheriff saying, we got a lot of empty holes. Just the way he said. I mean, it's like a true Texan sheriff for you.
It you said SNL reminds me of Mr. Show, like something out of that.
Exactly.
Where it would just be so far removed from reality, but our reality is so far removed from reality that would make sense.
That's going to be a huge party.
Can I get tickets? How do I go?
Yo, you just hit show up.
Just show up?
Just show up.
I'm there. That's awesome, man. Beautiful. Thanks, brother. We got John tomorrow, so we're good.
What I was saying is a Jeep event. Matt Peralt was texting me. He was like,